So, hello, Tania. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure too.
Excellent, excellent. So, we're going to maybe start off a little bit with you introducing yourself to the audience and telling us your full name and then your project, maybe just a little bit about yourself before we go into what regeneration is about.
Perfect. I am Tania Arrayales Rodriguez, and I'm an architect. I use principles of green architecture, bioconstruction, sustainable practices, and I build and create designs right now in Tulum. That's where we are for this specific summit and these projects that I am putting out into the masses right now.
Beautiful, beautiful, amazing. So right down my alley because I'm working also with the built environment as well.
Yeah.
So what does regeneration mean to you?
Okay, so my idea of regenerative architecture, which is my field, is to be able to use the environment and the natural resources as a part of the design in order, and also the development, because I have to say that I'm a designer and an architect, and also I have a construction company. So the idea of integrating in the 360 of a business model, which happened to be my field of expertise as well, with a master's degree in business and minor in finances.
Okay.
What I've done in that field is, how do you contain all the aspects of the environment, and how do you use the economic approach to create all the social value and the environmental value for human growth.
Beautiful.
And that put into the building itself has to have a positive impact for the human and for the planet.
Beautiful, exactly. Excellent, excellent. So net positive in every aspect, and you're including it's super important. You mentioned the social value, the community building. The project has to have an impact on the community, has to be a positive impact on the community, which is something that is so lacking nowadays. You tend to see a lot of wonderful projects, but you forget a lot about the local community. So thank you so much for sharing that. And maybe tell me a little bit more about how you are expressing it in your work. Maybe currently some projects, how are you currently expressing regeneration through the projects that you're currently working on at the moment?
So I just finished a phase for a project called Vita Tulum. We are here in Aldea Sama in Tulum, and it's a green architect and eco-conscious architecture. We won an award in Europe about becoming conscious about the design. And that's the first step of regenerative design or architecture, is how do you put the intention into building something that is gonna help coexist in different aspects of a species? Because the easiest way, and what we have seen through all the big developments when the cities start growing, and this is not just here, but in general in the world, is that it's easier to just try to get into the trap of like one set design that fits all. When we talk about regenerative design, we need to understand that we have to have a come forward approach of innovation in order to create what the solution for that specific project needs. In my case, Vita Tulum, it's created with the principle of modular architecture. Let me explain. Modular architecture allows you to play with the spaces in a way that you can go inside or outside the site depending on the initial situation on the land. So we consider the land as a prime resource, with all the trees, with all the sources, with everything that is already existing there, to help build a construction around that. So in this case, I have a wonderful design for one living room that had to go a little bit in a different shape or form in order to allow a tree that is 120 years old to coexist with us.
Amazing.
Why is it important to coexist with the trees in every single area on the site? Not only in the entrance, or not only when it looks pretty, but actually where every single part of the eye as a human is going to be able to exchange experience. First of all, the idea of bringing back whatever that piece of land was before the impact. So let me tell you, when I started designing Vita Tulum, I created 5 months of recording on how the land was there without my input, right? So I have a full testament of how the land, what species were there, what type of impact was happening there without a human impact. And
Beautiful.
the idea is now, after construction, after we don't have noise, after everything, is how many of those species can come back.
Amazing.
And
Love
on
it.
what type of pattern. For instance, we have toucans, we have all sorts of like woodpeckers, birds, and all of them love to land in our trees because it's a food source. So instead of pushing the jungle life, wildlife into the deeper into the jungle, because you're doing a lot of deforestation and devastation and a big impact, you invite the ecosystem to go back and regenerate the area. And that's what I believe, that by doing modular architecture, and also another aspect, economic aspect on this project, is when I went to ask for my permits, one of the typical thing was, I will give you one set fee for clearing the land. And I went to the community, to the municipality, and I said, and this is systematic. This is why regenerative in the systematic way is so important. Because then you start really learning about the paradigms that are doing all the construction permits, all the developers, what the designs are following. So we can redo what is not working, and we can actually set the principles for evolution and designs and construction.
Beautiful.
So I went there and I say, I don't want a full price for a full piece of land because I'm not clearing the land. I'm just going to give you this footprint of my actual impact, and I would love for you to only charge me for that. And they say, no one have done this here. So
amazing.
I was the first one doing that, and
thank you for that.
They actually responded positively. I was able to only have a portion of the fee applied to my project, and that also was an economical saving for a company. So it went really good.
That's a wonderful expression, because right there you opened up a new way for the system to change, the traditional system that has been done in the past, with how the projects just go and ask for a permit, and they get it, and you took the opportunity to actually ask for something different, and you received it, and it actually brought that economic benefit. So
yes.
Thank you for doing that. That's amazing. Congratulations on accomplishing that. I'm excited to actually learn more about the project as well. And so, as far as the word regeneration itself, now, when was the first time that you heard the word regeneration, or that, for example, that you experienced, and how can I say, that you felt aligned with it and that it resonated to you?
But we used to always fall into the sustainability, right? And nowadays, I feel like all these new waves of rethinking what is not working with the way that we've just been creating the sustainable model, which is all around social economics and environment. I feel like the regenerative movement has become a broader, and I would say like a global and a global way to really recognize the massive solutions that we can bring for a planetary change that accepts many other aspects that had to be considered in order for us to rebuild what is already degraded. Talking about Mother Earth, I recently become a mom, and I have to see, like, for me, thank you, for me, being in a construction site as a developer, because now I'm putting my hat not only as an architect or designer, but being on the field, working mainly with, male energy, working mainly with all these amazing workforce that is the driven of what we need to be in order to manifest our dream. They didn't know how to really approach a female leadership and nor less a new mom. So it was a learning process for all of us, because at the same time, I was telling them and asked them, please don't touch the tree, don't cut that leaf, don't, or help me to create this in a practice that is very eco-conscious. Make sure that you separate the garbage, make sure that you don't pollute, and I remember one practice that I had in my construction all the time is they used to come at 8. Well, from 8 to 8:15, we used to just clear the land on garbage, and all of us cooperated, either male, female, but because it's an approach of how also we take care of our mother, how we take care with everything that is in front of us. And me becoming a mom, it was easier for me to kind of fall into the practice of how do we regenerate this place.
Beautiful, beautiful. And currently, as far as the trends that you're seeing in this regenerative space, what are those?
Okay. a lot of amazing designs that incorporate nature as a center part. So I follow a lot of the communities that are creating not only the approach of sustainability, but also the approach of creating that space for the growth of human and spiritual practices. I love that idea because when you bring that spirituality, what happened in my construction in Vita Tulum is the idea of just seeing nature as a first front every time that you wake up, or feeling contained, or seeing all this amazing wildlife, puts you already into the spiritual condition of a human being. So you're starting your day in a presence that will continue to develop. And for me, families come and want to extend their stays because they feel that they are having a regeneration in their own individual life.
Beautiful, and that's essential. We talked about that, in order to transform the world, you have to first transform yourself. So that's wonderful that your projects are doing that. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that that you want to express to the audience? Anything specifically maybe about any needs, anything that you want to share with the audience that you want to call out and voice as it relates to this movement?
Thank you. Well, definitely we all have our personal responsibility first to look inside and then ask for the things that need to be changed. So having that approach with everything around us, but within us first, and then explore it outside and be part of the change. In every single aspect, in my field, architecture, design, development, and construction, I feel like we need to be very aware what we are putting our investments on. Because green investment, capital, positive impact investment, and everything that has to do in the loop of creating this society that will just not look into the practices that are not working, but actually the practices that will help us to move to the next stage as humans and evolve, because we are all in this field of evolving as a humanity and helping others in the other side of the world with whatever energy and resources that we can. So the collectiveness is very important. So look for investments that will help us grow.
Thank you. That I completely resonate. Coming from a similar background, I'm not an architect, but also recently became a developer as well, and working on my own projects, regenerative development projects, and that is specifically what we're aiming for, to find buyers and conscious buyers that understand that where they're putting their money is really important for the evolution of humanity, for the continuation of the planet. Thank you so much for sharing. It's wonderful having you here. Pleasure meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Oh, hello. How are you, Juan Carlos?
I'm doing very great.
Ah,
Very happy to be here.
Excellent. Wonderful to have you here in this conversation today, speaking about regeneration. So I'd like for you to maybe introduce yourself to the audience and say a little bit of just your name, last name, and maybe a bit about your project very quickly before we go into the subject matter.
Yeah, sure. My name is Juan Carlos Kaiten. I am building networks of networks, and we are working on building a learning bioregional network. That means communities worldwide connecting to one another on bioregional basis. Bioregions are the future, I believe, are the hope for humanity. It's a way to transcend the nation state and move into more connected, coherent, regenerative communities. And we will speak about that today.
Beautiful, amazing. I actually just joined the Design School for Regenerating the Earth course with Joe Brewer, so excellent. So what does regeneration mean to you?
Well, regeneration for me means is the process of regenerating yourself. I mean, everybody's talking about regeneration in terms of sustainability now. It's not like a fancy word. But the truth is that our cells, everything inside us regenerates all the time. I mean, the Greeks call it autopoiesis, something that creates out of the nothing. So that's happening already. We have it inside. Our body is being regenerated over and over. I wonder, will it be that the climate crisis has to do with our inner climate crisis? So in order to solve all of the global challenges we have, we should, before going crazy and regenerate the world in so many areas, which is needed, we should think first, how do we regenerate ourselves in our hearts, our emotions? I was talking to one of the mammos yesterday from Colombia.
Okay.
And he said, humanity has forgotten how to connect to nature. If we want to take back the way of how we can move forward as humanity, we need to embrace and connect to the living systems. We need to mimic, our social systems need to mimic the living systems, which is nature. And then he was telling me, people say that nothing is writing, that we have not written enough about it, that we don't write things. He laughed. Everything is written in nature. We read the trees, we read it. The book is just there. Can't you read it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's within that connection. And thank you so much for expressing that. I am very much in agreement with you. And I really feel that it starts with how we show up. It starts with regenerating ourselves and really working through our past traumas, and so that we can show up in a better way, and then we can show up and regenerate the world, regenerate the planet. So thank you for expressing that. And as far as your work, lovely to hear about the Bioregional Learning Center. So I'm so excited about that initiative that is happening all over the globe. And maybe tell us a little bit about how you're expressing regeneration in this work that you're doing right now. I mean, it's essential. It's an essence of it, really. But I would like to hear maybe a little bit more about that, so that the audience can learn as well.
Definitely. I mean, the way we're working in 3 levels. Mm-hmm. I mean, right now, we need to work systemically. And we need to work at the eagle view level. Yet for the eagle to have an accurate sight, fine-tune the sight of the eagle, we need to go a little bit higher, and I call this the angel view. Is we need to go and have an understanding of our divine nature. Mm-hmm. If we don't have clarity of our divine nature in us and in the planet and in the regions, the eagle view will not be fully fine-tuned. There are some variables that are still that are part of the divine and the energetic world that we need to bring together and connect them. Okay. So the way we're working is having the angel view, understanding how energy works, how energy moves, how the divine and the spiritual world works, which all of the wisdom keepers of the world from every tradition, they are very aware of that. When they built in Mexico, they were building the cities. All of the pyramids were built understanding how the energy flows. So they use the energy and then they build cities. And everything is just poetry of geometry and archaeoastronomy. Every stone is connected to the sacred geometry, to the sacred mathematics in the universe. So that's how the cities were built. So they were working not only as houses or temples, but they were working also as fine-tuned energy centers that will enhance the work of the people working there. Whether you are praying, you are working, you are creating, just being in a place that is built with a frequency, with a geometry, that will enhance the spirit, that will heal your soul, that will strengthen your body. So it works at that level. So we work on the divine area,
Beautiful.
the angel view. Then we go into the eagle view. We need to work at the systems level to understand how to reinvent, regenerate the social architecture of humanity. That means the social agreements. What are the agreements on how we do business? How do we do governance? How do we do economy, healing, education? We are running our society with outdated agreements, social agreements. It was the best we could think about 200 years ago. Society has changed, especially in the past 50 years. We need to upgrade our social operating system. And that is the work we do when we work at the eagle view. Basically, when I speak about upgrading social systems, we need to balance masculine and feminine. All of our social systems are running on masculine, patriarchal, pyramidal, hierarchical principles. We need to bring all of the principles that of containment, nourishment, healing, all of those feminists. I'm not talking gender, I'm talking about principles. Once you have those lenses, it's very easy to understand how we can adjust the social agreements and upgrade the way we do economy, healing, education, and so on. And then basically we translate that into the ant view, which is when all of these beautiful words and theory translate into real programs, projects, innovations that will change and are already changing the life of many people.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for that share. I want to learn, go even deeper and learning more about your work. So have a conversation afterwards. And we were speaking a little bit yesterday, and there was something that I would like maybe when was the first time that you heard the word regeneration, or that resonated with you? I remember we had a small conversation yesterday. You spoke about your age and how young you were, and I would love for you to share that with the audience. It was wonderful to listen to your journey and that story.
Well, about my age,
as far as regeneration, when you felt the calling, if you will, into this work.
Yeah, the color on regeneration for me, it was when I noticed that elements are connected to us, where water, fire, the trees, they respond to you, they are talking to us. And when I realized in a way that there is a connection between us and water, and that you can actually get a cloud to disappear or something. Sometimes you can say, oh, I wish it stops raining, and suddenly stops. There is a connection. And then I started noticing also how trees are such powerful beings. They are alive, and you can talk to them. They are a source of love. They bring down the energy of love into the planet, and as acupuncture, they plant love. And I was having an imaginary conversation with a tree once, and the tree told me, and guess what? You are a walking tree. You can walk and plant love as you go. Beautiful. So for me, that's the regeneration. For me is how do we connect to Earth? How do we fine-tune our heart frequency? And how do we ensure that in every iteration, whether it's one-to-one, in groups, in an organization, in a community, or in a bioregion, we align with the frequency. So the work we do in terms of bioregions and communities, it is about cohesion and coherence.
Okay. Those 2 points are very important. Cohesion, it means how connected a community is. Do they see each other? Do they know each other? The higher the level of cohesion, the higher the resilient capacities of a community. Why? Because if you don't know someone, you will not trust that person. Yet, when you are connected to the person, when you engage in a conversation, and you might not like her at the beginning, but then you realize that we have more in common. We want good, healthy food, we want education for our children, we want a secure, safe community with thriving economies. Everybody will trust that we want. So when you get to know people and we're connected as a network, the levels of cohesion starts. That's when the synchronicity happens. Yet when you go deeper
And beyond the connection, you reach coherence and you get something done with that person or that group. You move them from the synchronicity to the serendipity. And the coherence is where the heart frequency raises. And everything has to do with the frequency, the frequency of love. I mean, I'm the one to go into the flower power. We all love each other, which we do, but we need to rethink what the energy of love is.
Yes.
Everything is made of love. We are made with love.
Yes.
And we were made with love in a loving way. So the way we increase that coherence, which is the quality of our connection, the quality on how we work and co-create, and the quality of our results, that's what we're looking for. And the Greeks used to say that. The Greek says you need to work on the truth, the good, and the beautiful. The truth, it must have a purpose. The good, it has to work. I mean, the purpose for humanity. The good, it has to work. And the beautiful is because that will connect your heart, bypass the mind, and connect you to the soul. And that is what nourishes your soul and brings you happiness and fulfillment, that's what we want at the end. It's not like lots of money and lots of fame. Some people might chase that, but at the end, they are looking for fulfillment and connection to source and get into that state of happiness and joy. And money is not always getting you there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, and 100% in agreement with you. Really, it is about the love, and it is about how we're showing up in the world with love and with acceptance and that energy, that frequency of being able to expand that frequency. Now, what trends are you seeing in this space right now? We're here, we're in RegenWeek, and we're in a regenerative movement. We have incredible people here that are doing wonderful projects and that are coming together from different parts of the world. And as far as trends and you being in this space of systems change as well and in bioregional learning centers, what are the trends that you are seeing? What are the trends that maybe resonate with you, maybe that don't resonate with you so much? Maybe a little bit more into that.
Well, that's a very good question. Yesterday we were having a discussion whether there is hope or not. Some people were, we're hopeless. Some people says, I will be always trust and hope that we can make it. The truth is, and it's not in the news, the level of interconnectivity, connections, and the conversation we're having right now is happening everywhere in the world. People from all walks of life are moving away from cities, and they are moving to land. They are purchasing and moving into big pieces of beautiful land, or some other people are just regenerating the land, bringing back the life to the soil, restore the soil to save humanity. If we restore the soil, which many people is doing, they're building communities worldwide, regenerative communities, meaning they are considering the sacred sites and they are respecting them, they are caring for the environment, they are bringing new economy models, new governance models, new energy models. This is just not a theory, this is happening. People in Costa Rica, in Mexico, in Bali, in Spain, Azores, Australia, everywhere. So this movement that is happening right now, people building communities, according to Elizabeth Satori, and she states, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whenever those pockets of coherence, meaning those people moving from the cities and building coherent regenerative communities, whenever they reach that frequency of coherence and they connect with one another, they will create an energy grid, and that grid will create a radiance effect, inspiring more people to join. So I believe these regenerative communities that are happening everywhere will positively influence societies, cities, neighborhoods, for them to reinvent themselves. When they see all of the new technologies that are working on, it's like, these guys are having a better party than us. How come? So I want to join that party. And I call this the Planetary Party, where every person brings their gift to the world. And that's a party when everybody brings their gift, which is your higher purpose, your deepest heart desire, and you bring that idea, that project, as a gift to the world, and we all do the same at the same time. I call that the Planetary Party. The world will change very quickly. And another self-fulfilling prophecy. The moment we reach a planetary synapsis, meaning that a 1% of humanity connects, as I say, cohesion. And we build, these networks are already being, they are working already, and those social networks are being enhanced, connecting people, not because I want to show up what I'm having as breakfast, but for people showing the gift they are bringing to the world. People is connecting through purpose. This is vocational dating. When all of these people connecting globally, and we reach the capacity to take collective actions, everybody all at once, that's going to be the moment of a planetary synapsis. That is game over. All of the shifts and things will change so rapidly. So this is my hope. I believe that's the trend already. Higher connectivity, but hard connectivity.
Hard
People
coherence.
connected to purpose, hard coherence. And that's the future of the planet.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, and that is my hope as well. And it's wonderful to see that this is already happening, and that we can feel it. We can certainly see the changes. Do you have any last minute additions? Anything that you need that we can assist you with before we close here with the audience?
Well, I will just close with this thought. I'm working on a project called Codes for a Planetary Awakening. And those are codes that humanity needs to embrace in order to reach our next stage of evolution, which is planetary consciousness. Planetary consciousness will be reached, I believe, through bioregions. Bioregions are the postal codes of the planet, and those are the stepping stones towards planetary consciousness. Working bioregionally, we are going to reach that capacity to connect, to work together, and to use all of the technology, all of the resources, and the capacities and will to bring innovative solutions that will help us tap with the greatest challenges we have. So that I call the network of networks. That's one of the codes that is going to help us reach that critical mass of people that wants to make a change. I will say that with critical mass is 80 million people, like 1%. But I believe that there's another 10%, many people that is looking for a change. They want to do something and they don't know what to do. So this will be the people, the pioneers bringing these projects forward. Those will be calls to action for people across the world to unite and embrace those innovations. What they say is not the leader, the second follower what matters. So nobody is too small to make a difference, because the change in the planet happens with the small acts of kindness. That's what is keeping the planet together. Like street people, normal people doing the right thing day by day. Thank you very much. This is already happening.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pleasure having you, and thank you for all of those wonderful shares, and looking forward to learning more and connecting and really getting involved.
Thank you, such a pleasure.
Thank you.
And of the records, this is being watched across the universe. We are living in the middle of a cosmic soap opera where all of the star people, all of the angels, everybody is looking into what is happening into this planet. This planet is going through a moment of graduation, where we reach the capacity to use our technology for good, and we shall move from planetary consciousness to universal consciousness. We will evolve into Homo Amore Universali, Homo Universalis, and we will discover that we are part of a global cosmic family, and then finally humanity will embrace the destiny.
Aho. Aho. Thank you.
Okay. Muchas gracias. Venir.
So, hello, Flo. Nice to have you here. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Pleasure meeting you. So, I would like for you to share a little bit, well, maybe your full name and with the audience, and if you want to share a project or just a little bit more about you in the regeneration space, and so that the audience can learn a little bit more as well.
Very well, very well. Yeah, my name is Florijn de Graaf. I'm an engineer by background, renewable energy engineer. And for the last 10 years, I would say, I've been in the eco-village space. This started with the construction of the first neighborhood of earthships in Europe, which is a project called the Arrayales. It's to date still the most self-sufficient and sustainable neighborhood of the Netherlands.
Amazing, beautiful.
Yeah. And that's sort of where I helped to build it for 6 months, and that's where I saw that a sustainable lifestyle was not only possible, they literally built the houses from trash and grass on the roof, but it was also very comfortable. It's a super nice neighborhood to live in, and everyone knows each other, so there's a good social atmosphere and everything.
Amazing.
And that's when I decided to sort of dedicate my life to help bringing these type of projects into the 21st century, I would say. So with a bit more eye for high level of technology, scalability, and expertise involved, because that is something that this project is particularly struggling with. It's not scalable. And so since then, I've been on a bit of a path, but always focused on eco-villages. And as an engineer in renewable energy systems, I came up with the concept of helping to create self-sufficient eco-villages that supply their own energy, food, and water. And I've done a lot of conceptualization and ideation, and also calculation and analysis around that topic. And I am convinced that it is possible to build eco-villages, regen neighborhoods, whatever you call them, that supply 100% of their heat, 100% of their power, 100% of their water, and around 50% of their food locally. And well, we can dive more into this topic, because there is even more philosophy behind it. But basically, I want to demonstrate this self-sufficient neighborhood using a mix of low and high-tech technologies, and that's why I founded a company called Smart Hoods that has as the mission to create self-sufficient neighborhoods all over the world, and really make it as a new blueprint for how a neighborhood should be developed. I think it should become the norm.
Beautiful.
And we can go more into
Wonderful, it. Wonderful. And in the term regeneration, I mean, we're here during RegenWeek, right? We have this incredible group of human beings here that are doing so many different amazing things, and we're here to expand and catalyze the regeneration and the regenerative movement. What does regeneration mean to you?
Yeah, it's a good question. A simple answer, beyond sustainability. I think it's about balance. Balance with nature, balance with each other, and balance with yourself. And not just the balance, because that would more be on the sustainability side, but maybe also even the restoration of the overshoot or of the imbalance. So actively working to strive towards that balance again, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And how are you currently expressing that in your work, and maybe in the projects that you're working on? How are you expressing regeneration from your perspective in your work at the moment?
Good question. I think that the speaker before, I listened to the talk, and I think he focused mostly on regeneration as being some inner journey that we have to go through in order, and that will then ripple out into the world. I think I don't disagree necessarily on that point, but I think also regeneration is very much a sort of systemic engineering issue that is very much out there, and Because basically, I think that also within our space, regeneration space, like even if you do the inner work and you have the best intentions, like best intentions combined with like lack of knowledge or naivety or ignorance, which is like we all have that because the world is so complex, we don't understand the consequences of our actions. So even with the best intentions, we can still do harm for the environment. For instance, we're all flying here for RegenWeek, like with the best intentions to create a better future, but we're probably still doing some harm. You know?
Of course.
And so I think that that regeneration is also very much about engineering society. Because people are going to be people. They have like a certain set of emotions and ways of being, how they act. And I think we should create systems that allow people to act as people within those systems without doing harm. And for that, I think it's very important that we really have like a lot of knowledge, a lot of understanding, and a much deeper, advanced societal
awareness, would you say? Maybe. I mean, I think like I love that you're kind of going into this the differentiator there. I think it's we do so much harm sometimes and wanting to do good intention, but I think that also the aspect that maybe he was referring to, or that is out there, is that the inner workings are becoming aware of where when, for example, you may not be showing up in a regenerative manner, if you will, because you are not aware of something that is showing up in your life, like a trauma or whatever that may be. And so, and we have the best intentions, like you said, but sometimes it's difficult to be able to show up to change that system that we want to change because we are not aware that we're doing it. So it's kind of a combination, but
for sure, I think it's indeed the combination. Like it's a combination of indeed within ourselves, with others, and with nature,
whole systems at the end of the day. We're thinking whole systems.
Exactly.
And specifically, is there, as it relates to your project, is there anything specifically that you want to share with us? A particular project that you're right now currently working on that maybe that you're applying regeneration into that project, and maybe share a little bit more on that regard?
Yeah, let's see. Like I think, like we have been working on. Quite a few like really interesting eco-village projects over the last 10 years. And I've done something I want to share. It's maybe like interesting. Like last year, I was involved with a group of people led by a former Danish billionaire who had the vision to build 10,000 eco-villages.
Wow.
And so the idea was to do it by really like automating and optimizing like the whole process of house construction. And he had like one of the best architects in the world, Bjarke Ingels, to do the design. But it wasn't like an elite sort of luxury rich people community. No, it was going to be for the masses. And I joined the team. And we started building a house. Went really fast because the house came in sort of like a flat package on the back of a truck, and like within 5 hours we could install the CLT wall sections of the house, and the whole skeleton was standing, and it went super fast. And like there was a lot of speed behind it because we had to prove that we could build 3 times as fast and twice as cheap as the rest of the market. Like that was the goal. But ultimately, I think like I helped to build the first house, and then they got to the second phase, 3 houses, and now I think it's on hold again because they cannot meet the speed. And I personally also decided to leave the project because it was too high pressure. It was
not
too
very,
much.
Doesn't sound like it was being very regenerative in that aspect, and very kind of model, kind of cookie cutter, if you will, same, so not really maybe aligned with place and really keeping the uniquity of the place in mind.
Yes.
So you pulled yourself away.
Yes, but I do want to say that I think that, so maybe to contrast this, I do think that ultimately to have real impact, like what we need is We need like the love child of, let's say, the idealist, hippie, dreamer, eco-village, and like the capitalist, cookie-cutter, efficient way of building. Because I do think there is also beauty in capitalism, and in like it's very good for structures, for efficiency, for speed, for like scalability, reducing cost, all those things. And I think like
I love child, love it.
yeah, and I think in order for it, like to have the best impact on the world, we need to start really creating like eco villages for the masses. And yes, like they need like heart and soul into it, and
Yes.
a sense of community and like a way to create social capital inside. But I do also think that making like super interesting and beautiful one-off projects for the elite as a sort of gated community getaway, like, and that's also not yet fully there. And I think this love child is possible. And I think also like this village will then become, let's say, the blueprint or this placeholder for also a new way of living. And I've been doing some thinking about this as well. And like what I would say, because like I was in Portugal last year and there's quite a few communities there, but a lot of them are almost like sort of hippie trailer camps, right? Like there's no money in it. And, you know, yes, they have probably a very low footprint, but they're also not really doing anything for the world other than not harming it. And they still have cell phones and cars. And like, to me, that's also a bit hypocritical in a sense, because then you're still using the system for its advantages while living your sort of, like, no, it's not regenerative, but like, your idea of regenerative lifestyle. And so I do think like for communities, we still have to work in the system, because we're not going to get rid of it. Like, we are at this advanced stage, there's no going back, and we still want to use our cell phones. But I also do think like 5 days a week, 9 to 5, working for the man, you know, in a high pressure competitive environment is doing very bad things for us as well.
It's degenerate.
That's degenerative in a sense. And like I've been doing thinking, I think like in the future, like we have, let's say, these scalable eco villages with self-sufficient systems. So you have a roof over your head, you have water coming from the tap, food on your plate, power from the plug, and heat from the radiator. And so all the base of your Maslow pyramid is provided. Then you also have community and friends, and you have maybe some creative or a sense of purposey things. So like, you know, within the community, you can basically provide, let's say, 80% of your life's needs, and then reduce your footprint. And then also go for like a new balanced way of life, where you work maybe 3 or 4 days per week for the system, and then 1 to 2 days per week in the community, like working in the garden and tending to it.
Bringing in that balance.
And then I think we can get to that balance. And sure, you might earn a bit less money, but that's the whole point, because ultimately, like, there's a direct correlation between how rich you are and how much your footprint is. Because all the money you spend, like, money is basically like a sort of transactional layer for the expenditure of energy, and I'm talking about real energy, or real like kilowatt hours, like the energy that we use to shape the world around us. And so, you know, like, the more money you spend, the bigger your footprint on this world. And to live a more regenerative lifestyle, we should actually also start spending and earning less money to slow down.
Well, and as far as some closing remarks, what as for us on RegenWeek, is there any message that you'd like to share with the audience, and then something that what do you need specifically in this space? Like, what are the specific needs that you have?
I mean, for me, I'm here for business. I'm looking for project developers with high sustainability ambitions that want to build regen villages and really want to push the envelope in terms of the food production, waste management, energy production, water, well, not production, but let's say management. And like, we are really looking to connect with anyone that's doing a regen project and wants to push this envelope.
Wants to push it to the next level.
Exactly, and we will do then, you know, help with providing the engineering for it, like already at an early stage. Like, we can help project developers to, you know, navigate the complex sea of solutions that's out there. We can help sort of make the designs for the whole constellation of systems, and then calculate everything in terms of cost, technical performance, and environmental footprint. And like, we are dying to sort of, or dying, like waiting to really show what we can do, and we are looking for a project developer that believes in this vision of local self-sufficiency and will give us a chance to prove what we can do.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I will keep that in mind, and that's also part of, I think a lot of us are here, you know, working with land-based projects and looking at finding other people that are in alignment and that also are able to first give us the opportunity to work in a certain way. I'm also in regenerative development, and my view is specifically our approach is with the Regenesis Institute, Regenesis Group. That's how we look at regenerative development, very specific on the locality itself and the people and the place, and how you design something that is really going to catalyze life using the uniqueness of the place. But we have so many people, so many different things that are coming to the table here, and as it relates to the project specifically, we want to get other people to convince them to understand what is going on and the power that we have here. So thank you all. Thank you also for sharing that. Excited to maybe talk more in the future.
Sure, let's do it.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. I hope you're enjoying the rest of the Regen Week, and we continue.
All right, perfect.
So, hello, Tony. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm excited to speak to you a little bit more and learn a little bit more about your ideas and in regeneration. So we're here for Regen Week.
Yes.
And with incredible people coming here to help catalyze global regeneration. And I'd like for you to maybe share a little bit with the audience about who you are and what you're doing at the moment, and then we can get into the depth of regeneration after that, if that's good.
Okay, great. Well, I'm here immersed in regenerative technologies and regenerative well-being from that aspect of regeneration of ourselves. And yeah, that's what I hope my clients do is self-regeneration. Our bodies are regenerating continuously. Hundreds of thousands and millions, actually trillions of bioactive processes are happening every single minute. So we're continuously regenerating and rejuvenating. So I'm taking it from that physical, mental, emotional, our whole being, personal, regenerative experience. Yeah.
Beautiful, wonderful. And as it relates, so you've been here for the past couple of days and you've kind of seen what's going on. And then one of the questions that we're really wanting to find out from everybody is, what does regeneration mean to you? I mean, I know that you're expressing it in your work in the physical body, which is, very also essential. And we have to start with regenerating ourselves and inner selves and I believe our outer selves. It's a combination, right?
Yeah,
but
right.
when you think of regeneration, what does it mean to you specifically? And maybe it's in the context of what you do, but also everything that you're seeing around you as well.
Okay. Well, what I guess how I'd like to describe it is the process of regeneration that's happening continuously is being in the present with that, so that in the next moment, what we're creating in the future is even better, has even more life, even more vitality. So every moment we have that moment to be here in the moment with everything that we have and create a better next moment. And so working in the physical, mental, emotional, subtle energy bodies, personally.
Beautiful.
But in that aspect of regeneration.
Beautiful. And so, well, going, you just said, working on the different aspects. So how are you expressing regeneration in your work? Maybe get a little bit more in depth in your work and how you are expressing regeneration within your work and in your life as well.
Yeah. Well, a lot of what I'm doing is taking advantage of new technologies, methodologies, and products for super longevity, which is, I think, a part of, super regeneration. We've got super longevity, so super regeneration. So everything that I recommend is to do that, to give our cells the energy they need to continue going.
Beautiful.
We can go, these cells in our bodies will live forever if they have the proper environment and the proper frequency, the proper energy. So if we can, detox and release the things that are inhibiting that flow, nourish and strengthen, we are good to go.
Amazing,
So,
and so essential to the work. I mean, and especially, considering that there's a lot of people in this space that maybe are not addressing so much that aspect from that physical perspective, and it's so important for you to be able to do the work, because it is work that it's transforming systems, right? And so it can be very degenerating to do this work. So being able to bring in your work as to regenerating the self, so that you can show up in a better place when you're out there doing this regenerative work in the external aspect, if you will, it's essential for us to also have access to tools like the ones that you are offering. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Absolutely. It came to mind as you were just speaking, is that I'm speaking about the physical body and, cellular regeneration, it's more of a physical thing. But a really big aspect of this is our level of consciousness.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there with it becoming aware of, where you may be, where everything that you're doing that is not allowing you to show up in a regenerative way. And one of those awareness moments is your own burnout, your own body. I mean, I personally have gone through moments where I've said, okay, I have to nourish and regenerate myself
Yeah.
right now because I cannot do this work, and because right now I'm not nourished, I'm not showing up in the right way. I need to heal, I need to regenerate, and so you take it to the next level though, which is even better because maybe you're certainly you're nourished at a certain space, but then you actually take it to super nourishment and beyond there, and with alternative technologies and all different aspects of it. So wonderful, wonderful. And when was the first time that you that you learned, I guess, that you heard the term regeneration and you learned what it was about? Like, when did you resonate with it, for example? Do you remember, like, maybe how long ago it was and how it was that you decided to connect with the term and bring it into your life?
I don't know exactly when it came into my field a lot, but initially I think I would consider that being when I got really sick about 30 years ago.
Okay.
And I had to heal myself
because
there wasn't anybody who could help me. And so through the process of detoxing and clearing, cleansing, letting go, I was able to rebuild and regenerate a better body, a better mind, a better spirit, everything.
Beautiful.
So that was regeneration from back then. And I think I actually use those words because I am really a thing about words. So I think I use that word, but I don't know, maybe it's been in the last years or so, maybe even around when Tribalized started coming around. That started becoming a lot more in my field.
a lot more aware of using the term, but you were already regenerating your body when you healed yourself. So, and what are you seeing as far as maybe in your particular work, which is actually very different than what we've seen here in this space? So it's interesting to learn more about the trends that you're seeing out there. It's wellness, if you will. I would go into it. It's more in the wellness space, right?
Yes.
What kind of trends are you seeing in this regenerative space, in the wellness space, for example?
I'm seeing some great trends. There is some really exciting stuff coming out now that's actually here now and things to come. And I think that's really, really important because at the same time, there are some things that are encroaching upon the human body that are very detrimental and dangerous and harmful and all of that. So it's a beautiful thing that we have tools that are even better, even faster. So when there's a problem, there's always a solution. So I see both sides of it really advanced. Of course, we're going to be, ahead of the game, but very advanced technologies with light, sound, frequency, and ways and methods that people can integrate that and still stay very deeply and continuously connected, even more with nature and earth and the flow.
Beautiful, beautiful. And do you have anything in particular that you would like to share as it relates to maybe what your different projects that you might be working on in the space, or what we can assist you with here? I mean, you're here to meet other incredible humans in this space. Maybe tell us a little bit more about that.
In general, anyone who's really interested in really going after super longevity and optimal performance, I just love that. And clinics, I don't know how many people here might be involved in clinics, but you probably know somebody. There is a technology that I'm super excited about. It's called MedWave's Narrow Light technology.
Okay.
It's a focused panel and band of light that's so effective. A treatment's like 10 minutes. Everybody's getting results. Over and over and over and over again. So I'm very confident in recommending it. People are loving it. It's win-win. And it's just, it's in the US now. It's just coming out. And I think it'd be fantastic for anyone having a clinic and in anything around optimal wellness, biohacking, weight loss, body sculpting, chiropractic.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So all of these different things that this particular technology would resolve.
Yeah. If someone's interested in fat loss, this is led by one of the world's leading metabolic doctors. He's got a protocol that is enabling you to be under this panel for 10 minutes, and you'll lose 1 to 6 inches of fat.
Wow.
And it will tighten your skin.
Wow. And what is
And imagine what that'll do regenerating, all the other things are not even mentioned. Yeah.
And what is the? Can you explain a little bit more as to like what the technology is? Is it really an energy type of what?
It's a light panel with
Okay.
a very particular focus band of light.
Okay, particular frequency maybe.
Yeah, particular band and focus and lens.
Amazing, amazing. It's incredible and so exciting to see what's out there today in alternative methodologies for healing that we're seeing coming up. And this is one of the places where it's very popular that you meet incredible people that are in that space, and really things that are not necessarily you're not going back to medicine and pharmaceuticals that are going to kind of keep you, if you will, sick in many cases, but looking for ways to heal.
Yeah.
Looking for ways to heal. And so as far as in this particular regeneration space, what was what have you enjoyed the most here in RegenWeek? What are you looking to maybe your time here? What were you looking to by coming here accomplish and learn more of? And have you been able to get a lot of benefits out of it for yourself? Like, tell me just some closing remarks that you might have as it relates to RegenWeek and what we're doing here.
Sure. I always look forward to the people. That's an
incredible,
always
an incredible bunch.
Such a great.
It certainly is a wonderful group of people here. It's nourishing. It's a very nourishing group of humans, which is I like to say it's different when you're in a space of regenerators. You kind of don't really want to sometimes go out back again into the real world. So yeah, I can completely understand that. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Just say that you're the master of your own body, your own life, and your own world. So just tap into that unlimited power you have and use it. Go for it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Toni.
Yeah.
Pleasure having you here, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of the week. Still have another week to go.
I know. Fantastic.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Thank you.